Hi guys, it's been absolutely ages since my last video, so I have very much the urge to put my work out in the world again. I had a hiatus. I think I needed to pull back for a little while just because of for the authenticity, I guess, of myself as an artist, and the fact that I had such a lot on my plate. Like, I needed to just focus on my art practice as a way of nourishing my soul. And so I guess I kind of almost feel a little bit vulnerable putting my work out this year. Like last year, I think my sketchbook was a lot more, like, it was kind of more pretty and more had that sort of feeling like, oh, well, these pages are finished and they're good enough to share, and they were more polished. This last year, I shouldn't say this year, this last year, everything's been a little bit more raw and just unedited, I guess, in my sketchbook and really in my art. I have done a few finished paintings, which, I won't be showing them in this video. I'm just going to show just a couple of the sketchbooks that I have. So I've got, if you follow my channel, you know that I keep a number of sketchbooks. The sketchbooks that I'm showing you are sort of they're the ones that I work in when I'm wanting to paint on paper, or I'm wanting to almost get like a finished painting on the page, but it didn't work out that way because they really look very experimental. Sorry, it's really glary. It's kind of a glary, funny day. I'm just going to switch it's just that side, it's so glary. Anyway, so they're very unedited, they're not pretty. So I'm planning on doing some more videos, and sorry, I got hair in my mouth. I'm planning on doing some more videos, and I'm also wanting to work towards an exhibition. I know it will probably be quite a few months away, but I'm very much wanting to explore the dream world in my art again, which has been very much a theme throughout my practice as an artist. But I've joined a Jungian dream school, which has been really inspiring and just has encouraged me to really write down my dreams, and I dream prolifically. So I'm wanting to do a video around that, just the dream images, and just archetypes that have come up for me as well. So I'm seeing it more in terms of archetypes, and in other words, symbols that carry a depth of meaning that goes beyond what they are, and they're usually attached to stories and mythologies that we hear about. So that said, I've got a few things brewing in my mind, and it's been a time of incubation, so I feel like now's the time to put things out in the world again. So that's where I'm at. So I'm planning on doing a few more videos. So I didn't want to bombard everybody with massive content. I felt like a good place to start would be just with my sketchbooks, and it's been a really worthwhile thing for me to look back over as well as an artist, because I can see images there that are really speaking to me now that might need to become paintings. And hopefully I won't ramble too much. I hope that you enjoy the video. Like, I'm going to put it out, so if you hang with me and with the sketchbook tour, and you want to use this video to sort of as a way of working alongside somebody. Like, I know that art videos are great for that. Like, when you're on your own and you're doing your art, having somebody talking about art and look, on YouTube can feel like a sense of community in itself. And I'm rambling. I feel like there was something else I needed to say. Anyway, I hope you enjoy for what it's worth. It's all this kind of unedited, non-pretty paintings, but I'm going to put it out there because I feel like that's part of the process. Like, that's what art should be, and that's what I've really come to realise is you just got to be yourself. You just got to be yourself, and that, I think I've always said that, and it's really hard to do. I think that's why I keep saying it. I'm telling myself as much as anybody else. Just got to be yourself. I got to be myself. We just put it out there, and we make a difference in the world because art carries with it a medicine, and it carries with it a meaning that goes beyond the painter. Like just the same way as books carry beyond the author. So we've got to keep doing it. We've got to keep putting our perspective forward, and it's important in the world, especially today. Especially today when there's so much. The world's become kind of more ugly in a way, aesthetically and everything. So I will stop rambling and get on with the video and show you my clunky sketchbooks. Hi, I totally forgot to introduce myself. My name is Alyssa. I'm an artist. I live in Perth, Western Australia, and if you're new here, please like and subscribe if you feel inclined, and I just really hope that you enjoy my sketchbook tour for 2025. Thanks, bye. Okay, it seems to be a bit of a ritual. I'm going to have a look at my sketchbooks from last year. I did more than what I'm showing. I thought I would bring you along for the trip. Yeah, I did a lot of, once again, just smaller sketchbooks that I used in coffee shops, but yeah, this gives like a nice overview for me anyway, to a little bit of a journey back and just an overview of the year. They're really scratchy. I remember feeling like I was very not inspired at the start of the year. So the first one I've got here is dated the 15th of January. And this was like based on like an old photo actually of my sister in a ballerina outfit back in the 70s. Yeah, this is all just the Jo Sonia acrylic paint. There seems to be cats turning up quite a lot in my pictures, which is funny because, I don't know, I have 2 cats, but I recently bought a cat for my mum just to keep her company, and last year I kind of found a new appreciation for cats. I think that they're, they offer us, it's sort of like the relationship with cats is on their terms and they come to you, which I think is quite nice. This was a vintage photo that I did. I actually also did some prints with a jelly plate last year on this image. Mixed media. So you can see it's pretty scratchy, experimental. A lot of journaling, like writing as well. I've done a lot of writing last year. I did a lot of writing last year. This is with the Neocolor ones and mixed media. And I think we're heading towards March. More mixed media. I don't like this picture very much. I think it's a bit clunky, but it has got a dried flowers and leaves on it, which I bought a flower press, which is a nice thing to do, really. It's kind of a little bit of an old-fashioned thing to do. More mixed media. They're very, very rough, aren't they? Like, I think it's good, though. I think, I guess that's what a sketchbook is for, just putting paint down and seeing what happens and being very experimental. I guess that's what art is for, really, in general. Seeing what interests you and what direction you want to go in. So we're already up to April here. It's an unfinished one. I'd say that was with Inktense. I was probably feeling like I wanted to colour it in front of the television or something. A scratchy drawing, which you probably can't make out, but it's actually of my dog Stewie. You sort of make out his little shape there. And I think this one, so from here I know so this might have been actually Holy Week because I've got Palm Sunday here. I think I wanted to follow the Holy Week with my art and just make a picture for every story. So this was the donkey over Palm Sunday when Jesus rode a donkey. More dried leaves at the temple. So that was Monday, Holy Week, when Jesus turned over the tables and drove out the money changers. So they're very cartoonish. I think I was just wanting to engage with the story. I think my idea was to engage with the story, to picture it in some way. And it really did work. It was really quite meaningful, Easter for me. So Tuesday, Holy Week, that was when the scribes and Pharisees questioned Jesus. Got a very traditional, stereotypical Jesus there. Jesus anointed in Bethany with, I think it was myrrh. I'm not sure what the oil was, but it was a very costly oil in a jar, alabaster jar. So that's actually a beautiful story, that one. And then in Gethsemane, that was Thursday. And then we've got Good Friday. And then Easter Sunday. And this was an old photo that I did. I seem to go back to them when I'm late, not feeling very inspired. I'll go back to old photos and things like that. This is some just experiment. So we're still in April. This was based on the bread of life. So I'm still sort of tracking with that theme in April. This is getting into May. We're in May here. I actually, it's so kind of loose, and I like that. I actually like some of these black marks in this one. I feel like they really tell a story. It's almost like graffiti. This is a bit more tight. Probably used a reference for this, I would say, most certainly. This one I've got a doily from my mum's place, so a bit of mixed media. Sometimes I just get in the mood for a bit of mixed media. This one's a paint pen marker. Don't know what sort of cat that is. Yeah, I think cats have been very much with me last year. It's interesting. That's probably inspired by a walk that I take fairly frequently down, in a nearby reserve that I take my dog to. It's an old photo, actually. It's my grandpa and grandmother. This is very joyful for me. And it's like a journal entry, really. It's got the scripture, tears endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. What I'm getting from all of this really is just what an anchor my sketchbook practice is, and how necessary it is for me, I think, to be painting and doing something creative. I think that it's I don't know, I've always said her art is healing, but it just seems very powerful. And being faithful to the practice, really, just even despite, you know, it's been, the last couple of years have been so very tumultuous, really. So I think this one, I don't actually like the picture, but I know that I did some paintings, like a series of paintings. So this is halfway through the year already. I did a series of paintings of the female mystics. So I'm very interested in a feminist perspective of Christianity and of the Bible. I've followed a lot of Megan Waterson's work, and I just feel like that divine feminine sort of voice and the sacred feminine voices that are sort of missing from contemporary Christianity. So this is Jungian of Norwich, who's probably one of the most well-known female mystics. But yeah, she always had a cat. Like, she was a cloistered, she was in a cloistered situation. She was isolated from culture. In other words, she didn't leave her house, but she did used to provide spiritual direction to people through the window, and she had her cat for company. I think these always, I seem to have portraits of women wearing glasses, and I don't know if it's because I watch YouTube, and there always seems to be people that do essays, like video essays, and they always seem to wear glasses. I think this one was actually Brooke Shields. It doesn't look like her. I wasn't aiming to get a likeness, but I think she was doing an interview and it was quite interesting, and I was just drawing her. And I like her, actually. I just like that. I like that little bit of red and the green. I quite like that whole spread, actually. This one, I decided to give them names. Mabel. So we're still in July. I'm not sure about this one. I think this was just an imaginative scene. And same with this one. Looks like I was at Mum's place painting. These are with water-soluble pencils. And again, that's Teresa of Avila. It's a very famous picture of her. Like, if you Google Teresa of Avila, this will come up every time. And the quote that she is famous for, "Let nothing disturb you, let nothing frighten you. All things are passing away. God never changes. Patience obtains all things. Whoever has God lacks nothing. God alone suffices." This one, Neocolours. It's another, I'd say that was based on I probably grabbed up a photo of the house, but yeah, I'd say that's a mishmash of inspiration from a photo and also my own imagination. I think now this one, now we're getting on to, because we're up to August. In September I joined this Jungian Life Dream School. So it's a self-paced online course, but I've always been, if you tracked with my channel at all, like, you know that I always revisit dreams and how to interpret dreams and using dreams in artwork. So they were doing a studio space where they were, you know, inviting you to sort of bring your artwork to the platform in their dream school, and they were having people, they were doing like tutorials once a month, and that was just too serendipitous for me. I thought, I've been wanting to join for ages and I just haven't done it. So despite the time difference, I took the plunge and I joined. So I think this is the lead up, and I had a dream. It involved the dagger which this girl has, and the associations with that. This is another dream image where I got like a, yeah, I've actually painted over the writing, so it's obviously like I just needed to process it. And now we're back to sort of the biblical stories that I wanted to flesh out as well. So that was been a theme for really a bulk of the year. So this is the Good Samaritan. I think this was another one. It's a very messy page. It's got, you know, papers on it and all sorts on it, and paint, and it's scribbles. I think I might have written on it and then I've painted over it. So yeah. This one's interesting. Lady Fortitude. I've got another leaf. I'm actually not sure what that one is about, but it served me at the time. This is another biblical motif. You prepare a table for me in front of my enemies. I guess actually the idea of this was even in the darkest places, I guess in the valley where it can be really dark and overshadowed, there's this light and there's this sense of being provided for and given food, and this absolute banquet. Almost like I get the image of like somebody going through a place that's really dark, and every step they take they're sort of leaving behind this brightness and this goodness that's following them, kind of a thing. I get that sort of feeling about that. This image is a really interesting one to me, and I wouldn't mind developing that into a painting. And so this is another dream image, which it reminds me of the dream actually. Like the other images I think were around dreams, but this one I can remember the dream now, especially because it's so, what's the word, it's so narrative, it's so kind of like telling the story of it like in such a basic way, like it's very cartoonish. But I do remember like Stewie being caught in the rain, my dog, and there's like this storm coming and me trying to put rubbish in the rubbish bin, which, knowing a little bit more about Jungian dream interpretation, I think every single sort of image that you have carries with it associations, and not just your own associations, but the sort of from the collective, they can actually link into, you know, myths that we all kind of know, or folk tales that we all kind of know. So yeah, like for instance, Stewie can be taken as you know, my pet dog. Like I've got associations because he's my pet dog, but also the archetype of the dog is in this as well. So yeah, it's been a really fantastic thing actually to learn more about how Jung interprets dreams and sees the dream world. And this is, I think this is more of a devotional image that came to me, Wisdom at the Gates. And again, it's one that speaks to me that might need to be a painting. I'm so glad I went back over these because, you know, it's a whole year, and even though it doesn't represent everything that I've done, it sort of is, it gives a little bit of a snapshot for me. And once again, the cat has come. She's my pet cat. Her name's Shirley, and she's such a comfort for me. Like she's such a lovely cat. She's such a lovely cat. That's all I have to say about that one. This is Other Way, I guess. I don't know if it's probably a bit annoying to look at it like that. Maybe I'll flip it back that way, and yeah, just an imaginative portrait. Some interiors. I just love interiors, but it's not a particularly good picture, but I can see what I was thinking. Just these lovely interiors that have so much history in them. And that's the last page. And that's that one. Okay, so this is this year, and I haven't finished this book. I've got a few little referencey things. I can't remember, I think this might be Trees of Lissu. So that, yeah, the female mystics is something that stayed with me as well, that I was really focusing on. This was just my little covery page thing that I wanted to do houses for some reason. Bit of watercolour. And I'm getting terrible at dating things actually, so I know it must be later in the year, but I'm not sure what date. I'd say September-ish, August. Oh no, yeah, I'm right, August. That's around my mum's place. I know that's around my mum's place. This one, I think that one is I was going to do a mural on my laundry floor, and I haven't got there yet. I will do it, but that was my idea, just to do the washer lady. This one I love, actually. I love that. I love, it's like Little Red Riding Hood, but she's making an ascent into the forest. I just think I love the colours. I love the fact that there's only a little bit of red, and it just feels like it as a cohesive whole that it works for me. It's rough though. So this is just more, it's very much painted paper, which I love. I love painted paper. With the acrylic paint, a bit of fine liner mixed media. What are we up to now? We're up to 8th of the 10th, so that was my dad's anniversary. So that would have been his first anniversary, so that's why I put Dad there. I guess just to tell myself this is the picture I did on that day. This one. So this one I started reading Dostoevsky's The Idiot, and oh my gosh, there's so many characters, I just could not keep track of them. So I started off thinking I'll just draw them all and then I'll remember, and I haven't drawn them all because there's too many. But that's Prince Mishkin, okay? That is Zalyahev, who wasn't even a big character. He was just like at the very, very beginning. And that's, now I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. Rojahine. Anyway, he's kind of like the villain almost. Like he's a main character. He's almost like the polar opposite of Prince Mishkin, who is really portrayed, like Dostoevsky portrays what a kind person, like actually pulls it off to portray a genuinely kind-hearted person and how society reacts to him. So so they're like yin and yang. I'm not yin and yang, but they're like opposites, these two. Anyway, but it's very rough. That one there is Ganya, and he's another main character, and Natasha. So there's like a photo of her. So that's like one scene at the beginning of the story that Totsky, who made a brief appearance at the beginning of the novel. It's a really interesting book. It's a very long book. I'm struggling because of all the how slow moving some of these books from the 1800s. They seem to be very slow moving and big on character development, which is good. And that's Russian. It's a Russian sort of outfit from the day, so back in the 19th century, 18th century. That was just mixed media. And we're back to Dostoevsky. So these are the three Epanchin daughters. So Agali, I don't know how to pronounce the name, Agalia, Alexandra, and I can't remember the other one's name just now. Anyway, more of the same, I guess, just trying to get the novel in my brain. And that's the same idea. I think that's one of the characters, I'd say one of the daughters, the Epanchin daughters. I really feel like I'm butchering pronunciation. It's like you read it and you don't need to pronounce it to yourself, but then when you try and pronounce it out loud, it's like, oh. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. I think this was like a bad painting and I was trying to remedy it, but it, yeah, kind of is a bit too much black in it for me. Same thing here. Yeah, this is another sort of meditation on the Dostoevsky novel. Same with this one, with that amazing headdress. So it's really amazing to me, interesting to me how they had the royalty, like before, you know, Russia went communist. So it was a really different culture. This one, the black swan and the chicks. It's just a painting. It's probably loosely based on a photo. So this one, I did a painting about the moon because I had a very vivid dream about, this was back in March last year, about a moon, and I just was captivated by the image that came at the end. So yeah, I actually did a painting on it, and that's just a little poem I wrote. Birds. This is a dream that I'm depicting. It was, yeah, just wanting to, kind of almost like writing it down or drawing it down. There's often, especially when there's really strong images in a dream, I like to draw them. So I've got a lot. One, I will do a video on dream art. I did a lot of images around dreams, around the dreams that I had. And some of them were, you know, I posted on in my course, and it was really wonderful actually to have a platform to share them. This one is like this image of the bees just being thrown out into the ether. Some more mixed media. So we're getting up to December, so this is recently. I was kind of quite active in December, like the 27th, so these aren't very old. This was with my watercolour pencils and just chatting to my family and getting into that state, and then using watercolour, coloured watercolour, and that one's mixed media. I think that was a guy on YouTube that I just painted. And that's not finished. That's one I will have to finish actually. It's not finished. It's Kev sitting at our table and Shirley at the bottom. That probably is me, I guess. I kind of, it's funny how you draw yourself without realising it. And yeah. So that's kind of it. I'm up to, about halfway through this book. So this will be my 2025-2026 book. Anyway, if you got this far watching, thank you. Happy New Year. Bye.